Yo, 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 yo! What's up, everybody? Yes, I'm recording a vlog today. Oh, man. Feels good to be back. As you guys can see, today I'm on my KLR. And the point of this vlog is going to be a final update on the saga that was this bike. As you guys know, if you've been following my channel for a while, even though I've been MIA for quite a bit, most of the summer actually, I've been at this bike for years, 2 years pretty much. I finally got it done. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's done. I'll give you a little walk around a little bit later in the video, but yeah, I mean, I'm cruising on it. Got a little backfire there, but that's currently the status. I do have my Vulcan still, but I'm barely riding right now because work's been busy. I've been working like 50, 60 hours a week sometimes. I was in Chicago last week for a week for work, so I don't get a chance to ride as much as I would like this year. I'm also closing on a house currently this week. Hopefully we'll have the keys for that already, so it's a lot of stuff going on this summer, and it's preventing me from actually enjoying my toys. But this bike, yeah, it's ready to go. I'll be honest, I actually listed it for sale already. I don't intend to keep it. I am buying a house, so I could use the money. I have it listed for $34.99 currently, which is probably at the very, very high mark of what a first-gen KLR will go for. But if you look at my ad, you'll see that I have, I'll post it in the description, but I mean, half this bike is new, if not more than half. I have $4,000 into it. I have like $3,920 or something like that into it, which, it's my mistake that I put so much money into it, but I wanted to see it through to completion, So I did put quite a bit into it, more than it's worth, and obviously I'm going to take a loss somewhere. I know I'm not going to get 35 for it, so, it's up to the market to decide, what offers I get. But, the bike is basically new, like I said. I'll give you a walk around a little bit later, but I fixed all the issues, and, so a quick recap of this bike. Got it in May 2016, I believe. Started taking it apart to, just maintenance stuff, and the engine ended up blowing on it. It got hot, overheated, and warped or whatever. So, a few months later, I put a new motor in it. The used motor, whoever installed my motor, the guy that installed it, I don't know if it's just something that just happened, or what, or maybe the new motor came with a bad pickup coil, but basically I had no spark. I tested all the wires and they all checked out, but I guess it's not a good test. So I replaced the stator again with a used one and a pickup coil, like I said in the previous video, and the bike was fixed. And I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, but so after I fixed that issue, I got the bike ready to test drive, and the bike wouldn't move. It was running, it was on, put it into gear, let the clutch out, nothing. So that issue ended up being in the transmission. First-gen KLRs had 3 different, like models, I guess, within the first generation, and each one had, different sets of discs, meaning like 8 or 7. different pressure plates. So my old motor was an 89, the original motor, and the one that I ended up buying at the junkyard was from like a 2003 or 5. So I was missing one set of discs. Man, this thing is so loud. It's one of the reasons why I don't want to keep it. This is just not my style. But yeah, so I was missing a set of discs, so I ended up buying those, put them in, put the case back together again, and still it won't move, you know. Make sure my phone's not popping out. So then, you know, luckily the KLR community has got some good resources. So one of the guys on the KLR forum, actually the moderator, the admin of that site, helped me out and sent me a pressure plate free of charge for the year that I needed, and boom, transmission's fine. Like, you guys don't even know how happy I was. You know, then I had a couple other small, like, I needed to do the tires and stuff. So I took it to a local shop, and I don't know if I should say their name or not. I probably won't, but, you know, because they ended up fixing the issue. And they said it actually wasn't what I thought it was, but I mean, I don't know. But anyway, I took it to, man, somebody's, I think it's this truck, this diesel is stinky. Yeah, it's definitely this thing. But anyway, so I brought it in for front and rear bearings and front and rear tires. And when I got it back, oh no, it's not the diesel. Somebody just dumped a bunch of oil. I gotta get out of this lane. I brought them the bike, or the front wheel, the rear wheel, they did the bearings. But in the process of doing the bearings, they completely shattered the front hub. So there's a lip where this like circular clip comes in and it holds the speedometer thingamajig to the wheel, you know, and it reads speed. So initially, you know, they broke that, and when I got back, the bike back together at my house, I went for a ride, and the speedometer was like showing 10 miles an hour when I was doing like 40. So I wrote them an email, you know, with pictures, and I never heard back. So then, you know, then I went to Ukraine. Oh, actually, yeah, guys, I was in Europe for 3 weeks. That's also why I wasn't posting videos. I was in Ukraine visiting family and stuff for 3 weeks. So, you know, I got back. I didn't hear still anything. So I reached out to a lawyer through work, and I'm like, hey, you know, what are my next options? You know, they got to make me whole. And that person recommended that I basically write them a physical letter, an old school letter, and mail it to them, 2 copies. So that's what I did, and within like a day of them receiving, I got a response. So long story short, they fixed the issue, and I guess it wasn't the hub where it like cracked or whatever. It was the actual like speedometer gear or whatever inside. So they fixed it. I guess it was slightly warped or like bent, and now the speedometer is fine. So you can see I'm doing 75, and it's probably accurate. People here speed like crazy. So now the bike's all together. It's all running good. Then I had an issue with high idle at red lights. So I ended up fixing that by just adjusting the idle screw, which I didn't know existed, but luckily some guys online also helped me with that. So now it's idling good, it rides good, it's a little loud, but you know, the only current issue I have with it is, not always, but sometimes it seems to drip oil from the transmission cover, the right side cover, a little bit, only when hot, and then when it cools down it stops. So, you know, I took the cover off like 4 or 5 times, so I'm sure it's just the gasket somewhere, but I don't want to work on it anymore, so, you know, I'm letting the new owner take care of that. It's a 10-minute fix. Just got to clean it up again and put another gasket. So yeah, so that's the bike. I love this view of Albany right here, guys. Yeah, that's the city I've been living in for 25 years. But yeah, so KLR is done. One tiny little issue left, which is not really even an issue. It's more of a little nuisance, I guess. Annoyance. But I gotta admit, guys, I am very proud of myself. That I was able to, you know, with the help of the online community, that I was able to resurrect this thing and bring it back from the dead. You know, I had never taken apart a bike engine, meaning like the covers or anything like that. So even though I am mechanically inclined and I do my own car modifications and you know, maintenance, bikes were a new realm to me, and I'm happy to say that I learned a crap ton about the KLR in the process, and you know, got it running. So that's a little update. I'm heading to my dad's right now because he's got a bigger shop. I'm gonna leave the bike there until it sells, because right now it's, I don't know if it's the fuel I'm using or what, but it's my garage in my apartment smells quite a bit like fuel. It's not leaking though, because I've looked and relooked. Fuel level's fine, doesn't change. You know, so I'm gonna leave it there. Because I'll be moving out in 2-3 weeks, so I want to air out the garage a little bit and get that smell out. So during the walkthrough, they don't. I mean, they know I have another bike, so I'll just, if anything, I'll just blame it on that, on my Vulcan. But yeah, so this backfire is interesting. If I pull the clutch in, it immediately stops, no matter what speed I'm doing. If I release the clutch, it starts to backfire, which is strange. But like I said, that's probably just needs to be, you know, the carb needs to be set. So not a big deal. Probably another 5-minute fix for somebody that knows carbs. I don't, you know, after all the work I went through this bike, I don't want to screw something else up. So I'm trying to, like, I got it back now. I'm going to leave it that way, you know. So yeah, I'm going to pull over in a little bit here, guys, and I will give you a quick walk around of all the things that I've changed. I don't know if I did that in a previous video, but if I did, I apologize. But yeah, so wait just 2 seconds. Alright guys, so this is the KLR. So this is basically what I've done to it, starting from the back to the front. We got new tires, we got a new chain, we got new sprockets front and rear, we got new brake pads, new brake fluid, we fixed the rear brake light. I'll go around the other side and show you guys. We got the fuse relocation kit, we got a new battery. I did the T-mod, a couple of different, you know, mods for breathing, so if you go through water, something that shouldn't clog any filters or anything. You know, clog any tubes or anything. We got the new motor, obviously. New stator, new pickup coil inside. What else? We got a new radiator. We got a new radiator cap. We got a new fan switch. Where's that? Down here, right there. Fan works great once it hits, you know, the certain temperature. We got a new front tire. We got a new front set of pads. Let's go to, nothing changed here. Oh, actually I did put a new brake switch in here for the front lever. because the front brakes weren't working. I did actually the bypass as well, the kickstand bypass, and I think I did the clutch one too. I don't know if you can see it in there. Let's see what else we got. We got new fluids, obviously, oil, coolant, new coolant reservoir, because the other one was melted from the pipe, so it was leaking a little bit. We got a new exhaust manifold pipe, whatever, mid-pipe. The original one had a busted screw, so you couldn't put the shield on, so it would rattle. So I got a new shield there. We got new radiator hoses. We got new, gears, like I was saying in the video earlier, plates or whatever. We got water pump is good, so you guys can see it's dripping right now. A little bit of oil, and then it stops once it cools down. But anyway, continuing on, we got a new brake stay, or whatever you call it. Other one was like sheared in half, and that's pretty much it. So I mean, you can see the bike, like other than the body, most of it's new or used in good condition compared to what was originally there. So that's basically the bike. So that's why I'm asking $34.99 for it. Obviously I won't get that, but you got to start high. You got to shoot for the stars. When I was in school, we had a teacher that said, used to say, it's better to shoot for the stars and miss than aim for a pile of and hit. So you guys can figure out the other word there. So that's it. So I'm gonna stop recording now at this point. I actually might take it off road one last time. Right now, there's some fields by my dad's house, so I might go cruise there a little bit. So I might record a little bit there, but otherwise, yeah, this is my KLR. Just one little issue left is that little oil leak. Otherwise, it's good to go. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.